Judging by the big hole in the wall, someone had to put a lot of energy into the blow. The logo of the Argo company is on it. A hammer belonging to Argo. They probably use it for excavation. I used to play chess a lot as a kid. A strictly logical, predictable, and elegant game. I love it still, but I don't have enough time to play so much anymore. This door must lead to the dining room below, but there's no handle on this side. There's a small sign. It reads, Varastohono. Who knows what that means? Beautiful old piano. I wonder who plays it here. Nice antique coffee grinder. The handle has an interesting shape. It could come in handy. I'll take it, but I should give it back later. After all, it's a nice piece, and someone would miss it quite a lot. These metal jaws grab and hold. It's a nutcracker, but it looks more like a vice. I'll hold the bottle like this, allowing me to put the nutcracker around it. The bottle lid is now tightly held by the jaws of the nutcracker. Brute force didn't help, but more brute force did. The lid is now loose. The bottle is stuck. The bottle is now loose again. It's just some no-name cheap iced tea. That tea wasn't bad at all. Room number 3. This is room number 2. There's a small number 1 here. Not that I feel like going into the monastery now, but if I get Schneider his pills, hopefully he will let me stay in one of those rooms. The map says it's only a few kilometers. There's a light inside the cabin, and I can hear a radio. The guard seems to be inside. I smell gasoline. I bet they have a power generator here. And this is its fuel. It's empty. It seems they get the gasoline quite primitively, using a small tube. I'll take that little hose. A night guard, a 3-meter gate, night lighting over the whole area, and even barbed wire. All that around a monastery ruin that almost no one knows about. I could quite easily get to the monastery over that roof, but it's made of thin metal plates, very noisy. I can hear the radio from the lodge. The watchman is inside for sure. I can see some light and the nodding warden through the dirty window.
Nita Sinata ala heat.
Excuse me, but I don't understand. Do you speak English?
Go away. A Pazua.
I'm just looking around the monastery. Take it easy.
Away. No.
That won't be necessary. I'm leaving.
And not return.
He definitely won't let me in. I'll have to think of another way to get there. Maybe I could somehow use this generator to get into the monastery unnoticed. According to the indicator, the tank is almost empty. The cap is firmly closed. The lid came off easily. Probably the generator is often refilled. I can siphon the gasoline from the generator into the bottle now. The hose now reaches the bottom of the tank. Everything is ready. Now I only have to suck in to start the gasoline flowing. It's important not to overdo it. I'd rather not have my mouth full of gasoline. I have to hide now. The guard will definitely come to check what's wrong with the generator. The guard is faster than I thought. He probably had some canisters of gasoline somewhere near. I have to find the antacids and get out of here. And quick. This place gives me the creeps. It's totally dark here and there's a lot of debris. I'd better not risk it. The well is covered, and that's good. I don't know if it is some kind of phobia, but just looking down a well into that wet, cold darkness makes me feel unwell. The trailer is locked. They probably use it for all the tasks which need a warm, light, and quiet place. There are assorted odds and ends here. Crates, stones from a wall. The only thing that looks handy is the stripping knife. A stripping knife may come in handy on this building site. The window is fastened to a fixture, which only allows it to open a bit. Schneider probably forgot to close it, but the gap is too small for me to put my hand through. I can't unhook it that way. The bolt holds it too firm. I don't think that would be of any use. That doesn't make any sense. The bolt holds the window fixture. The window is not held by anything, and now it's hanging loose. Good, I can look around properly at last. Der Kräuter. Maybe something about teas? There are notes about some repairs, bills, orders. I don't see anything interesting here. I hope Schneider hasn't left his pills somewhere in that mess. I have no intention of starting to clean here and getting myself caught by the guard. There are the remains of some oddly smelling tea at the bottom of this cup. Schneider's photo is on the cover. Wow, that's really something. It's some plan describing a fresco restoration. It seems that the professor made some notes outside his regular work. Regrettably, it's in German, and I can only say, "Where's the toilet?" in that language. But judging by the denseness of the text, Schneider is quite hard on his readers. These have to be Schneider's pills. It looks like I've found Schneider's medicine. I should go back to the hotel and give it to him. Now I just have to come up with some clever story about how I got those pills. I can't just say I broke in to get them. I hope it'll be good for something because it really wasn't a pleasant trip. Professor?
Ja?
Professor, is this your medicine?
Das ist erstaunlich, Madame Leroy. Where did you find it? I thought I left it in the monastery.
In the end, they were in the lobby,
In the lobby? Really?
lying under the couch.
I used to sit there, true, but anyway, I thought that I left them at the monastery. Well, I have them. That's what counts. Thank you very much. I owe you a favor.
Professor, it's a bit awkward, but you said you're much obliged to me. May I ask something of you?
Sure, go on.
All the rooms are taken by your company. Couldn't I stay in one of them tonight? Perhaps Jacek's room. He hasn't returned yet anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I can't do that. Even if Harry told you something else, I have to abide by the same contract as him. I can't do it. The rooms are only for employees and associates of Argo. No one else can use them.
Professor, I have an idea. You said that the rooms may be used only by professionals working for Argo, right?
Yes.
So what if I worked for you for a while? Only a very short contract, sort of a consultant.
Oh, Madame Leroy, it is an interesting idea, but an unfeasible one. Argo cooperates only with true professionals, only with the best in their field. Believe me, I'd like to help you, but to accept a new team member without sufficient experience would be a little bit embarrassing.
So test me. I'll prove that I have the knowledge needed for you to hire me for a short time.
Well, all right. I'll try not to be unduly hard on you. We may try my favorite test. I use it with my students at the university. If you really are interested in renovation, as you suggested before, it should be a piece of cake for you to pass the test. If you succeed, I'll admit that you could be an asset to us, and I will let you use the room. So, a good restorer has to know not only the processes of the restoration itself, but also the exact technological procedures used to create the artwork. It helps you to understand everything in a more complex way and helps to avoid lots of common mistakes. Madame Leroy, how would you proceed when making a fresco? I mean the classic ones, of course, the ones called warm fresco. What steps would you take and in what order?
It's very important to properly prepare the lime plaster. Thanks to it, frescoes may remain in good condition even for several thousand years. I would let it sit for at least 14 days to let the processes inside the materials process correctly. I would apply a thicker aritio layer. It would have excellent adhesion. I'd let it all settle for at least 1 day. I would transfer the template onto the wall. Either I'd use the old method using a red pigment called sinopia, or I'll use the pouch of carbon black called spolvero on the perforated paper template.
Great, Madame Leroy. I see you know even the less-known methods. And what would you do next?
I'd apply the intonaco layer. I must not put it on the wall in greater amounts than I can use during one painting session. I have to smooth out the surface very precisely using a special wood derby float. Many painters forget that, and so the result of their work isn't exactly dazzling, even if they don't make any other mistake. The fresco painting requires very careful planning. Only during the Momento d'Oro is it possible to paint in such a way that the fresco will last and be of high quality.
And when does that Momento d'Oro occur?
Best is between 1 and 2 hours. Before that time, the underlying layers are too soft, and after 2 hours, they become too dry and do not absorb properly. Now the time comes at last to paint the fresco. Special water-soluble paints are used for that. Buon frescoes don't dry in the classic way. Instead, the process of surface carbonization takes place, which is why frescoes are so incredibly durable.
Sehr gut. Eventually, you answered correctly. Good work.
So I may take that room now? Let's say as your expert help?
My word is good. Please don't be angry with me that I tested you like that. Sometimes I have to do as I'm told.
If you broke the contract, would you get fined?
Oh, to hell with the fines. But they could stop cooperating with me and I'd lose the opportunity to see such interesting places. Mr. Koppinen will prepare Jacek's room for you. As our new external consultant, you're entitled to it.
Gladly, but I have to clean it first. Theo left some stuff there.
Of course, I'll wait.
Of course, if you come across anything concerning our research, you leave that alone. These are internal things.
Done. Stuff that he left there, I put in the wardrobe. I locked it. Hopefully you won't need it.
Surely not. I'm traveling light.
I'll put the key in the room here on the table. It's the first one. The middle room is Bateman's, and the last one belongs to our beloved Snyder.
Thanks.
Yeah, and one more thing. It still smells of beer there. I wasn't able to air it out. Perhaps Jacek hid something in there. I've put a box with my wife's aromatic leaves there.
Never mind. It's better than sleeping outside. I definitely have to get inside the wardrobe containing Jacek's belongings. How did you get here? Why has Argo come here?
It's nice here. Clean air, beautiful nature.
Come on.
You really expect me to reveal our company's internal information? Don't make me laugh.
A key from room 3 where Theodor Jacek stayed. At last. But getting a room for the night really was a tough nut to crack.
Room number 3. Hopefully it will be okay. If you have any problem, just stop by.
That key is almost certainly from the wardrobe in my room. It seems that all they receive here is one channel, and I just switched that over. I should switch it back to the original channel. The snow is quite boring after all. No, the key doesn't fit here. Great, the way is clear. I hope Jacek has left something there which will lead me to him. Good, there's some light shining from the outside. The switch should be here somewhere. It's quite tidy in here. At first sight, nothing was left after Jacek. Sleep will have to wait a little more. Unfortunately, there are only some empty papers and several pencils on the bedside table. Harry was very particular about the cleaning. It's good to know the lamp is working. There's nothing on the table that could help me. I could probably climb out and get to the next room, but the roof is very steep and covered with icy snow. Only some untrimmed pencils, an eraser, and a Bible in Polish. Nothing useful. Wait, there was a nice lighter in the back. I almost overlooked it. I'll take it. Interesting. A plank near the wardrobe squeaks kind of differently from the rest of the floor. The plank is loose, but I can't grab it with my fingers. The joint is too thin. Nope, that plank won't move. Nope, that plank won't move. Am I to use those two things together? But how? I won't gain anything by that. That doesn't make any sense. The edges of the joints are damaged, and there are scratches around. I can't get my fingers into the joint. I'll only break my nails if I try, and more so because that heavy bed is standing on the plank. Not yet. Although I'm dog-tired, I have many things to do first. Am I to use those two things together? But how? That doesn't make any sense.